Hey, Norman, how's it going? All right, Norman, where the heck are you? Hello, Mr. Franklin? Oh, sorry I couldn't call you sooner, but I still have the bandages over my eyes. Oh, didn't I tell you? Oh, well, the doctor said the only chance I have is to have the operation. But the only trouble is, it's the $600 I owe you. But I'm determined to pay your bill rather than have the operation. Unless you have another suggestion. Oh, you like the first one best.
Hey, Andy, open the door, will ya? I forgot my key.
Where you been all day?
In love. Don't bother me now, I'm busy.
I know you're busy, but you haven't been working. I just looked on the desk and there are no new pages.
I've got plenty of time.
Not anymore, we don't. We have 3 days. 3 days to finish 3 articles.
I'm thinking all the time. I've got everything up here.
1. Let's hear one title. 1 article.
The real case against fluoridation. Is tooth cancer next?
Sit down and write it, now.
Don't coerce me. I can't work under coercion.
How about under savage beating? What's the package?
Groceries?
Groceries. I buy the groceries. It isn't for her, is it? What have you got in there?
None of your business. It's private groceries.
United Nations Gourmet Shop.
Well, they always have a big sale before Lent.
Miniature watermelons. Baby Siberian herring fillets. Tiny kumquats. Who's coming for dinner? A couple of midgets?
I head again for some delicacies.
Delicacies. You haven't had anything fancier than a peanut butter and tuna fish sandwich and a banana since the day I met you. $22. You spent $22 on toy food?
Take it out of my share of the profits.
Your share of the profits can't even pay for your banana and tuna fish sandwich.
Well, I'm buying her a gift. You bought your mother a gift on Mother's Day, didn't you?
I gave her a year subscription to our magazine. You don't even know this girl.
I know her.
How do you know her?
Well, I check her garbage every afternoon.
Norman, get a hold of yourself.
Get a hold of myself? Are you kidding? My functioning days are over. I've become an animal. I've developed senses no man before has ever had or used. She can be 3 city blocks away, and I can smell the shampoo in her hair. I could have the radio turned up full blast and still hear her taking off her stockings. Don't you understand? She turns me on.
You know, when I first met you in high school, I thought you were very eccentric. When we worked together in the journal, in college, I thought you were a very promising fruitcake. But now these past couple of years, I know what you are. You're a lunatic, unhatched egg of a literate loony bird.
I'm going to let that pass. I'm also not going to waste time trying to explain something that cannot be explained, because it would be a waste of time.
You already covered the waste of time market. Explain it to me.
Have you ever heard of pure, unadulterated physical attraction?
I have.
What is it?
It's when one hippopotamus likes another hippopotamus with no questions asked.
Exactly. Now it's almost 5:30 and my hippopotamus will be getting off her bus. Leave me alone. I've got work to do.
Look, write me 2 more articles and I'll finish putting the kumquats in the basket.
Who are you, Miles Standish? I'll put my own kumquats in the basket. Ribbon. I need a red ribbon. Do you have a red ribbon?
Do I have a red ribbon?
Well, either you have a red ribbon or you don't. If you have a red ribbon, I'd like it for my basket, please.
I'm not going to discuss red ribbons with you at this time.
In other words, you're not going to give me your red ribbon.
Oh, out of the thousands of red ribbons I've collected in my closet, I'm not going to give you a red ribbon.
Ooh, that's another one I owe you, Andy. From now on, I'm keeping score. There's her bus. I almost missed her bus, account of you.
Get away from that window.
Are you crazy? And Miss Sophie getting off her bus? You know I wait for this all day.
Look, write me 2 more articles, and I'll buy you a bigger telescope. You can zoom right in on our shoes. What do you say?
I almost missed your bus. Sophie's on that bus and I almost missed it.
Darn you, Norman. Answer me.
Oh my God, Sophie! You idiot! Get your hand off my lens opening. I thought her bus fell into a hole.
My hand stays on this opening until you make me a promise.
I promise, I promise. Now get out of the way. There she is. Oh, will you look at that girl? Oh, will you look at her? Just look. That girl.
Let me see.
Get away from here. I'm looking at her. You wonderful, crazy Sophie. She's in the building. She'd be upstairs any minute. You're not going to give me your red ribbon, right?
Who do you think I am, Fanny Farmer?
Oh, that's another one I owe, yeah.
Norman, what are you doing? Are you working? Norman, sweetheart, what are you writing? Adonis terra immorta internus. What's that, a prescription?
It's I worship the ground you walk on in Latin. It goes with the groceries. Now, get out of my way or you get Alberta peaches and brandy right between the eyes.
Hey, you got 3 minutes to deliver your care package. United Nations Gourmet Shop. Oh, hello, Mrs. McKinney. How are you? The beach this weekend. Gee, I don't know. I've developed this awful cough. Yes, I'm disappointed too.
She's got it. She's got the basket.
Yes, I would agree to more fun than staying home and collecting rent. What time do you want to go?
She's reading the note.
How?
She's moving her gorgeous lips and reading the note.
You mean I hold on to you and the surfboard at the same time? Won't that be a little trouble going through tunnels?
She's looking this way. Here she comes. Here she comes. Clean the apartment. Hurry up. Clean the apartment. Clean the apartment. Oh my God. Look at my hand. Andy, look at my hand. I'm shaking. I'm scared to death.
You're scared. I'm going surfing tomorrow with the daredevil landlady. They'll probably find me washed up in Hawaii.
Open the door. Open the door. Hey, where are you going?
To open the door?
Don't open the door. I'm not ready yet. Open it. Open it.
Excuse me. Mr. Coronel, I have tried to be friendly, I have tried to be neighborly, and I have tried to be cordial. Now, I don't know what it is you're trying to be. I was appreciative that first night when you carried my trunk up the stairs. The fact that it slipped, fell 5 flights, and smashed to pieces was not your fault. And I didn't even mind that personal message you painted on the stairs. Well, I thought it was crazy, but so did
Mr. Friedman, call the office, please. Mr. Friedman?
But, Mr. Cornell, I certainly cannot accept gifts from a man I hardly know. Especially canned goods. And, Mr. Cornell, I could certainly do without you tying big bottles of eau de cologne to my cat's tail. Why, she swished herself so much the other day, she got dizzy. And, Mr. Cornell, most important, I can certainly do without you watching me get on and off that bus every day to the high-powered telescope. Why, you got me so nervous the other day, I got on the wrong bus. In short, Mr. Cornell, and I don't want to have to say this again, leave me alone.
Aside from that, is there any chance of your falling in love with me?
You're crackers, you know that? You know your roommate's crackers?
Yes, but I didn't know the exact medical term.
Didn't you listen to one solitary thing I said to you?
I'm listening. I'm listening and I'm looking and I'm smelling.
Ah, what did he smell? Tell him to stop smelling me.
Norman, stop smelling her.
I'm going to repeat this to you once more and for the last time. I am engaged to be married to First Lieutenant Bert Fenneman of the United States Marines, and I intend to be happily married for the rest of my natural life. Can you accept that?
Please lower your voice. I'm trying to hear your hair growing.
What's wrong with him? Does he have oral trouble?
Oral trouble.
With his ears, hard of hearing.
Oh yes, he has very bad orals.
I thought as much. I could have you arrested, you know, for loitering, tampering with my mailbox, breaking and entering, paving timing, sneaking, and don't think I won't do it.
Well, then I'll have you arrested. For creamy, smooth skin, perfect teeth, a ridiculously small nose, insanely gorgeous earlobes, and an indecently, unbelievable, fantastic phrase.
I told you to stop telling me. Do something.
Do you want me to hold his nose?
I'm sorry. This is a citizen's arrest. A girl who looks like you shouldn't be allowed to walk the streets.
If he doesn't leave me alone, I'm going to have my fiancé inflict bodily harm to him. Tell him that.
Norman, she says her fiance is going to inflict your body with some harm.
Do you think that would stop me? Beatings, flailings, whippings, I welcome them. Tell her.
He says that he would rather have beatings, flailings, and whippings.
I heard him.
She heard you.
If having a friend of yours punch me very hard is going to make you happy, well then my entire face is at your disposal.
Hey, are we on one of those television programs or something? Because if we are, I'd like to know. And if we aren't, I'm calling Camp Pendleton.
Well, don't look at me. I'm just an innocent bystander.
So am I. 2 years ago in Japan, I had the privilege of representing my country in the Tokyo Olympics. In order to be a member of the Olympic swimming team, you have to be 100% physically perfect. That was me, until I moved next door. Now I'm going to go home, have a good dinner of basic American food, clean my apartment, and get 10 hours of sleep. And if I see him sitting outside my big window in that tree, strumming that ukulele and singing those Spanish love songs, I'm calling Camp Pendleton.
I'm getting her. Andy, I tell you, I'm getting to that girl.
The only thing you're gonna get is bayonet practice. Norman, she's engaged. Forget about her.
Forget about her. Did you see what was just in here? Did you see?
I saw it. It was a girl.
A girl? You call that a girl? That was no girl. That was one of God's creations, made during his best period. Don't ever call her a girl in front of me again.
Oh, well, whatever that thing was, you might be in trouble with our armed forces.
I can handle Uncle Sam.
Where are you going with that?
You think I'm going to let her clean her apartment after she's been working all day?
Look, hey, I've had enough of King Kong and Frey Ray as I can take. You take 2 steps away from that typewriter, and for the rest of the week, you'll be picking ukulele out of your head.
Not unless you're capable of swallowing an entire mop.
Hey, I've seen you gone crazy over a girl before, but I've never seen steam coming out of your ears. I'm worried about you, Norman.
Don't you think I am too? I am definitely worried about me. I was up all last night, listening to Dr. Ruth. It seems there was a case very similar to mine in 1926 Gutenberg, Germany. It involved a nun and a traveling knockwurst salesman. Oh, but I can't help myself because I'm crazy about that girl. And I'll do anything, including mopping her kitchen floor, just to be with her every night for the rest of my life.
In 6 weeks, she's marrying a Marine.
Well, what she does during the day is her business.
Mr. Rosenberger, call the office, please. Mr. Rosenberger?
Do you know what he is doing? Do you know what he is doing now?
He's mopping your kitchen floor.
He's mopping my kitchen floor.
And you don't want your kitchen floor to be mopped?
I don't want my kitchen floor mopped because I just waxed it last night. Now he's mopping up all the wax.
Well, you don't have to yell. I have perfect orals.
Don't you understand? He has illegally entered my apartment and criminally mopped my kitchen floor. And all you're going to do is just stand there?
Now, if you calm down, maybe we can talk about this.
Of course, I just have to make one call. May I use your phone?
Certainly.
Thank you. Don't have one of my own. Hello, operator? Give me the San Francisco police.
You wouldn't.
Wouldn't I? Yes, I'd like to report a demented man who's run amok in my kitchen.
Just give me 2 minutes.
In 2 minutes, I'll have my wallpaper steamed off and sent out to be dry cleaned. Yes, run amok. No, not with a knife, with a mop.
Just give me 60 seconds.
Take your hand off my engaged shoulder.
Give me that phone.
It's just going to cost you another dime, because I'm going to call him again.
Why won't you listen to me?
What? I tell you what. Look at my skin. Those big, red, ugly blotches are hives. Do you know what causes me to get hives?
Holding a lamp to your face.
Nervous tension causes me to get hives. And having my floor mouth causes nervous tension. And I have a date tomorrow night with my fiance. And I'm losing my hair. And I feel like a little old man with the measles. And you had the ultimate gall to ask me for time?
Hey, listen, I know what you're going through. I've lived with that nut for 3 years, and he's turned my hair gray.
I failed to notice it.
Look at my eyelashes, all gray. Have you ever seen anything like it? They used to have long, beautiful black eyelashes. But now they're all gray. Gray. Gray.
Gray eyelashes on a man isn't as hardly as noticeable as a receding hairline is on a girl.
Your hair's not receding. I think it's beautiful.
Do you like it?
Very much.
That's good, because a lot of it has fallen out on your floor. And if he's not out of there in 5 seconds, a lot of his blood is going to be on my floor. I'm going to start counting before I call him again.
No, you're not. You're going to sit down and listen.
If you're threatening me, I'd advise you not to. You're tall and skinny, and I'm short and strong.
Well, I'm glad you live next door. I have a lot of trouble opening jars. Will you let me tell you about Norman Cornell?
Why not? I ain't doing anything but counting anyway. 1, 2, 3.
He's irrepressible, compressible, and incorrigible. He has been offered jobs for Life, Magazine, Plus, Reader's Digest, and he's one of the greatest organs of the free press in America.
I have never read anything of his and accepted Italian marshmallow in my grocery basket. 4, 5. I'm using the phone.
Will you just hear me out? And if
I just knocked your cat in the toilet. It was an accident. You'll be all right.
Somebody call the police!
hey, as soon as he gets back, I promise to thumbtack him to the wall.
That's easy for you to say. He's not flushing your cat down the San Francisco Bay. Give me that phone. If you don't let me call the police, I'm going to scream.
Stop kicking me. I have very thin socks.
If you don't let me call the police, I'm going to smash everything in your house, starting with dishes. You going to let me call the police?
Hey, if you want to play tough, we'll play tough. You better let go. I don't want to take advantage of you.
I'm going to call the police, and I don't want any trouble from you.
I won't give you any trouble if you don't give me any trouble.
You going to let me call the police?
Yes.
Right.
You should be ashamed of yourself, being stronger than a fellow.
Physical fitness is as important as godliness and cleanliness.
What about friendliness and good neighborliness? Hey, just hear me out, and if you don't like what I say, then we can go back to angriness and destructiveness. Thank you. Have you ever heard of a monthly magazine called Fallout?
Is it anything like the Reader's Digest?
It is nothing like the Reader's Digest. It is a protest magazine, and one of the things it protests against is the Reader's Digest. What do you read?
I'm a religious follower of Sports Illustrated.
Why did I ask? Look, I'll try to explain it to you. This is our credo, a remedy for the sick society. I'm the publisher and printer, and Norman is our staff. From every word, cover to cover, is his. Now, I'd like you to take last month's issue home with you and tell me if we've spent 3 years and every penny we've got on nothing. But, Miss Rochmeyer, unless you smile at that crazy lunatic in the hall and say, thank you for the little Budapest sausages, then one of the greatest organs of the free press will disappear from the American scene forever.
All right, but you better keep him away from me.
Oh, I will. I don't think we've properly met. My name is Andrew Hobart.
Rochmeyer, Sophie Rochmeyer. As I told you before, I had the privilege of representing our country in the Tokyo Olympics.
I think that's great. How did you do?
Well, not only did I trail behind USSR and Poland, I also trailed behind Turkey and Egypt.
I didn't know they swam in Egypt.
Then you can imagine how I felt representing the greatest nation on this earth.
Custodian to the home ec area, please.
Since my black day in Tokyo, I have not been back home to my home in Honeycutt.
Oh, Honeycutt seems to disgrace quite easily.
See, you don't know Honeycutt. At our old school, we sang all 4 stanzas of the Star Spangled Banner.
But I thought there were only 3.
Our principal wrote a new one. But since then, I've made a new life for myself. I've taught children to swim at the YWCA. It doesn't pay much, but it keeps you wet. And my parents, bless them, they visit me every twice a year from Honeycutt. But most important, I met, fallen in love with, and got engaged to the first Lieutenant Bert Fenneman of the United States Marines.
Well, I think that's wonderful. How did you do?
Well, I don't think it's gonna marry me and find him in my apartment.
Look, if you make me a promise, I can save my magazine and your marriage.
How?
If you just smile at him in the hall and say hello, it'll make him happy for a long time. Will you do it?
No.
Will you do it for me?
No.
Will you do it for America?
Well, if you put it that way.
And will you please read this tonight?
Okay. You better keep your promise. You better keep him away from me.
All finished. Oh, and the cat is fine. I gave him artificial respiration.
Mr. Boyd, call the office.
She said thank you.
I heard.
Now, if you'll excuse me.
Norman. Say my name. Norman?
It's only one little word, Norman.
No woman.
Could you say it in here? I'd like to have it to keep.
No woman.
That was beautiful. Thank you, Sophie.
I have kept my promise. Live up to yours.
Norman, look, I just made that girl a promise. If you act like a sensible human, what are you doing?
I want the whole world to hear it from her own lips. Norman loves Sophie, and someday Sophie will love.
No woman.
Turn that thing off.
Tell him again, Sophie. Who's the one that drives you out of your mind?
No woman. I heard that. He is using my voice and face. That's against the law. He can stop.
He was only kidding. He won't do it again.
I was only kidding. I won't do it again.
Stop embarrassing me in front of my neighbors. Now look at that. Now my nails are beginning to crack.
If you turn that thing on once again, you'll be recording your own death.
I'll play it very low. She'll never be able to hear me. Come on, whisper it, Sophie. Tell me and nobody else. Who do you love?
No woman.
And so, Walter, we must part forever.
For the 13th time, my dear, I must say I don't understand why.
Ah, Walter, it is easy to see. You do not know who rules this house.
Well, I could be mistaken, but I was always under the influence that it was your mother who ruled it.
And you are right. I was afraid you would think my poor father was the master of it. Mother has declared that she will never give consent to our marriage.
But your father has given his, and this is a great point gained.
It may be a great point, but a very useless one. Mama always has her way. Oh, Walter.
Don't worry, Emily. I shall humor your mother.
But how can you if you are not here?
I shall endeavor to earn myself into her good graces by...
Hush, she approaches. Oh, Walter.
Rely on me, my darling.
Still here, young man? I thought you had been instructed by my husband to leave forever.
I admit, madame, that your wishes have been communicated to me, and yet I linger.
Linger no longer, sir, but obey my behest.
I am, madame, about to do so, but since this interview with your darling Emily may be my last, I have come to bid a long farewell.
A short farewell is all that is necessary. My domestics will remove you from these premises if you do not remove yourself.
Ah, Emily, there you are, my dear.
Oh, Papa, we are in such trouble. Mama withholds her consent.
Now, dear child, your mother, with the exception of her tongue, has a habit of withholding everything.
Oh, Papa.
Now, you know I've given my consent.
But of what good is it? Mama already has given order to the cook and housemaid to remove poor Walter by force.
Well, what can I do?
Mr. Watmouth,
Yes, Walter.
I believe I understand your position better than Emily does. As I have been trying to persuade her, our best course is to yield to the storm until it is past, as in the folk of the oak and the willow.
I fear it has been Mrs. Watmouth's fortune to dwell in a grove of willows since the day of her birth. I've yielded so often, I'm limp with yielding.
Nevertheless, I am convinced that my course is the proper one. As the wind...
Thomas! Husband! Where are you?
Then prepare yourself, my boy!
Perhaps I had better make my departure.
This way. Oh,
I
Walter.
promise all shall be well.
I used to talk like that once, before I married Mrs. Watmouth. Or rather, she married me. Marriages, they say, are made in heaven. I don't wish to be irrelevant, but I wish heaven had left me totally unprovided for.
Didn't you hear me call you?
No, my love.
Don't lie to me!
Yes, my love.
Where are you going?
Going? Who's going?
Sit down!
Yes, my love.
I wish to speak to you. This time we had a definite understanding.
My dear, as far as I'm concerned, we've always had a very definite understanding.
Silence! What I wish to say is this. Our daughter is of an age to wed.
So I've heard.
Then why do you fly in my face?
Fly in your face, my love? I wouldn't dare.
Have you not encouraged the advances of this Walter?
Seems to be a fine young man.
He is not a fine young man.
No, my love?
I find him distasteful
On what grounds?
because he so much resembles you.
Me?
You, a spineless milksap, bending to my will. And because of that, he shall never marry my daughter. Is that understood?
Yes, but may I ask a question?
No, because I already have the answer. You wish to know why I married you. I married to gratify my parents. Therefore, Emily shall marry to gratify me.
But my love, may I point out your parents were dead before I ever made your acquaintance?
Don't quibble. They had gone, but I lived to obey their last wish. My parents were moral reformers. Their dying wish was that I should find someone to reform.
And you found me.
I did indeed. Were you not a smoker of tobacco?
I found an occasional cigar very pleasant.
And were you not a drinker of wine?
I used to like a glass of port.
Exactly the kind of man my parents lived to reform.
They should have lived hereafter.
Silence! They did not die in vain. It is the custom of some to erect to the memory of their parents costly monuments of marble. I erected you.
Me, my dear?
Answer, do you now smoke?
No.
Do you now drink wine? Where is your port?
In the cellar, since you 20 years ago appropriated the key, my love, and... Oh, it must be in fine condition.
Yes, you would think of the condition of your port instead of the condition of your soul. Lucky for you, mister, I have thought of your condition. You are a mausoleum of which my parents may be proud. You are a mausoleum.
A mausoleum, am I? I wish they put railings around me and keep me isolated. I've always been railed at. Don't even have the privileges of a common family vault. And when I think of that cellar of port, I wish I was buried with it.
Uncle.
Sharon, Can I believe my eyes? I thought you were in England.
I only arrived this morning, Uncle.
I thought you'd gone abroad to seek a fortune.
I sought it, Uncle, and found it.
So soon? Where?
Here.
Mr. Whatmuth. Oh, beg pardon, sir. I didn't know you were engaged.
Not at all, not at all. Walter? Sharon, this is Walter. Litherland, my friend. Walter, this is Sharon Snoop, who has just returned from abroad, having made her fortune.
Let me congratulate you.
Walter is attached to Emily.
Good for him. Shows excellent judgment.
Thank you. I just wish all members of your family were of the same opinion.
Not another word, my sainted aunt.
Your sainted aunt.
Enough said.
Say, Sharon, suppose you tell us about your fortune.
Yes, do. I am most interested in making a fortune for myself at the present time. Was it difficult?
That easy.
Ted, has nothing to do with mausoleums, I hope.
Mausoleums? No, of course not. What on earth put that into your head?
Emily! Where are you? Emily!
An invention, then.
No, perhaps I had better say that I've made an important discovery that another fellow has made an important discovery. All England is wild about it, and as he was a good friend of mine, I, without bothering him, noted down the formula and came back to America to introduce it as my discovery.
And how will he like that?
Not at all, I'm afraid, but since all inventors have had to fight to prove their discoveries, why should he be disappointed?
And what is the discovery?
Frost.
Frost?
Frost. Frost applied to freezing. Of course you know that England gets most of its meat from America, and big fortunes are being made in its shipping. It's difficult to preserve the meat during the trip, however. How to preserve it, how to keep it fresh has always been the problem. Now an Englishman has found the answer. He has discovered a formula which, injected into the ear of an animal, will freeze or suspend his animation for as long as you please. Freeze, suspend, and ship. Unfreeze him in England by simple process of another fluid. He lives again. You slaughter him and get fresh meat. It's that simple.
It'll make a fortune. Take me in with you, Sharon. We'll sell it to every slaughterhouse in America.
What a small mind you have, Uncle. I have much bigger plans than that.
Bigger? That must be
Bigger,
millions.
Uncle. Much bigger. My plan is to freeze not animals, but human beings.
Impossible.
What good would that do?
Quite possible and much good. Suppose you were the father of a big family and times were bad. Freeze family, put them on shelves until times end. Suppose you were married to a wife who made things difficult.
No novelty in that. Men under such circumstances in the past have suspended themselves.
Yes, with a rope. But think how much better is my plan. A few drops of this colorless fluid injected in the ear will freeze or suspend animation, and a few drops of another will revive the patient.
Upon my soul, a perfect idea. Say, but has it ever been done on a human being?
No, it has never been done on a human being because everyone is afraid.
I don't blame them.
No regard for the advancement of science at all.
Then why don't you experiment on yourself?
I don't dare.
But you just said...
Hear me out. Don't you understand that as the proprietor of this formula, I couldn't safely show anyone how to bring me back to life again? They would undoubtedly keep me suspended indefinitely and steal my discovery.
Your discovery?
Well, the Englishman's discovery, and he's such a grasping fellow, he'd be the first to keep me suspended.
Whatever will you do?
You know, I think...
Don't tell me you'll volunteer, Uncle.
No. As a man and as a father, I wouldn't feel justified in suspending my animation even for a minute. No, not me, but perhaps your aunt.
My aunt, we couldn't hit on a better subject.
Sharon, do you like a glass of good wine?
Well, naturally, yes.
Sharon, I think it's my duty to help you with this worthy enterprise. I have explained why I myself cannot become a subject of your experiment. But I do believe that your aunt...
Do you think you could induce her?
Oh, for heaven's sake, don't talk of inducement. We'll spoil everything. Must be done with tact.
Tact, Uncle, yes. Tact. But how do we show tact?
Listen, your aunt has lately suffered from nerve pain. Like the rest of her sex, she's willing to try any absurd remedy. Sorry. Well, just tell her a drop in the right ear will cure. She'll take it like a lamb. Come on. Let's go and find my wife.
What a shocking old villain my future father-in-law has turned out to be. He actually seems to relish this idea of performing this fearful experiment on his unsuspecting wife. Now, what am I to do? Clearly, I can't be an accomplice to this sort of thing. I must put a stop to it. But how am I to do so without offending poor old Mr. Watmuth, who incidentally is my only friend in this house? Ah, an idea. If only I could have a moment with Mrs. Watmuth.
Still in the house, young man! Wasn't my mandate sufficiently clear?
Madame, I am very lucky to have met you at such a time. To be brief, I have discovered a terrible plot which is being concocted in this house against you. Your niece, Sharon Swift, has returned from England and is in this house. With her, she has brought with some foreign concoction with which she proposes to make her fortune. This bottle contains a liquid which will, if injected into the ear, suspend the animation of the patient. The difficulty of the experiment is finding a patient or victim that is worthy of the experiment. Mr. Watmuth has consented that you will be that subject.
He has consented. I would think that my consent would also be necessary.
But that is the beauty of it. You are not to be told. Your niece will recommend this as a cure to your nerve pain. Shun it, I beg you. Now, I must be going. Goodbye, Mrs. Watmuth. I hope it is not goodbye forever.
I have long doubted the fidelity of Mr. Watmuth, but I had not thought him capable of such vile machinations as these. Cold-blooded villains. They would suspend my animation, would they? Oh, Mr. Watmuth, you are going to regret this. I'll pretend to be deceived by your wicked plot, but then I'll teach him a lesson he won't soon forget.
Ah, there you are, my dear. See who has returned from England?
And I must say, my dear aunt, my first desire was to come and pay my respects to you.
You're welcome.
I was just telling her about your nerve pain.
And I was positively glad to hear it.
Glad?
Glad only because I would be the means of alleviating your unhappy condition.
She's brought back a cure from England.
And what, may I ask, is this the remedy?
Oh, it's the simplest thing in the world. You take 2 or 3 drops of this colorless fluid, inject it into the lobe of the right ear, and the pain goes away as if by magic. If you are suffering now, dear aunt,
I'm always suffering.
then let me try.
Yes, my dear. Let her try.
Is that your wish?
Well, of course it is, my dear.
Apply your remedy, Sharon. My husband's wish is law to me.
With pleasure.
Wait! Sit here, my dear.
You'll barely feel a thing. There. I haven't even drawn blood. Pretty process, isn't it?
Beautiful. I've never seen her calmer.
No, and I don't suppose you ever will again.
You know, I wouldn't have her hear me for the world, but I've had an awful time with this old goat.
I don't doubt you, Uncle. I've always considered my aunt the meanest woman in the world.
I think now we'll have a glass of wine. She's pocketed the cellar key ever since the first day of our marriage.
Before you get the wine, let's put the old cat away somewhere. In the first place, she isn't very pretty to look at. And in the second, if anyone came in, they might be startled. Where shall she go?
I'd like to put her in the coal hole. What'd the closet do?
Just the thing. Lend me a hand with her. In her condition, she could break to 1,000 pieces, and you wouldn't want that.
I don't know why not. She's often boasted of breaking me. You know, I've got to get that closet fixed. Let's put it on the side over here. Let's go and have a glass of wine. I can't wait to taste the port.
Wretched varlets! Why is it ordained that husbands shall fly in their wives' faces? My thanks are indeed due to Walter, whom I fear have misjudged.
Ah, the coast is clear.
And so is the wine.
Let us sit and take care of this moment while it actually exists. Ah, peaceful bliss. How often I've dreamed of this moment. You know, Sharon, your aunt.
Don't even talk about her, Uncle. You're not the only man with a skeleton in his closet.
If she only were, Sharon. If she only were.
Uncle, you're speaking wildly. I'm beginning to doubt your scientific interest in my experiments.
Not at all.
You know, she froze beautifully. But suppose I have problems with the second part of the experiment. Suppose I have difficulty in thawing her. Would you mind?
What do you mean you might have difficulty?
It was just an experiment, you'll remember. Experiments frequently fail. Why else would I have gained your permission before proceeding?
I gave my consent. You said it was a dead certainty.
And so it will be one way or another a dead certainty.
You're being very cool.
So is Auntie. That's the beauty of the system.
What shall I do? Whatever shall I do?
Uncle, ease your mind. Have another drink.
No! No more wine. Never to anticipate this. Horror.
Uncle, we'll thaw the old trumpet once. I was only joking.
Yes, once. Never mind the wine. Compared to my present feeling, her abuse will be a perfect treat.
Hello.
What's the matter?
I seem to have mislaid the other bottle. I thought I'd put it in my purse, but it isn't there. I must have left it in the hotel. Or if not at the hotel, I must have left it in England.
England? England? Oh, it's lost. Lost.
Uncle, I'll return to my hotel room. If it isn't there, I'll go to England and fetch another bottle.
And in the meantime, what am I supposed to do?
Take care of the body.
How will I explain her absence?
Say she's gone out for a walk.
But suppose you and your blasted bottle get blown up with a plane.
Be a man. I'm off. If I'm not back within 10 minutes, think of me as on my way to England.
How easily she treats my plight. She goes to England and I remain here, locked up with that mystery. How will I explain my wife's absence? She'll be searched for. She'll be found. I'll be hung. One chance only remains. She may find the remedy at the hotel. And if that's the case, my wife will want a warm bath. I can go boil the water.
Poor, conscience-stricken imbecile. Now I have him in my power, the miserable crawling worm.
Yes, Emily, I must say farewell.
How? He's still here? Now I can learn the real sentiments of these young people.
It's all right, she's still here, I heard her. Now, Emily, I must explain to you all that I feel, all that I mean.
But Walter, Mother has forbidden your presence in the house.
Your tender reference to your dear sweet mother makes my task a comparatively easy one. I have come only to bid you farewell.
As Mother wished.
as your dear mother wished. Hot-headed fool that I was. How cruelly I misjudged her. The circumstances have since come to my knowledge that tell me that she is right. And though distress us as it may, we are duty-bound to yield to her wise command. And so, farewell.
Walter, an inward voice tells me that you are right.
And now, my dear, may I kiss you once, our last goodbye?
No, for at a time like this, on my part it would be unmaidenly, and on your part unmanly. I can walk you to the street door, but more I cannot, will not do.
Thank you.
O most worthy young man, O most dutiful of daughters, you have indeed earned the blessing of your mother. I shall go to them and bestow it.
Oh, what a hideous time this is. Antidote or no antidote, I shall try to thaw the poor thing. My poor darling. Oh, no! Ah! She's been discovered! I am done! I am indeed undone.
Undone, overdone, I should say, from the look of it. Ease your mind, Uncle. I found the other bottle. She'll be herself in a few minutes.
She'll never be herself. The body's been found.
Found? You careless...
The body has been found. She may be broken into 1,000 pieces.
In her state? Oh my gosh, you're so...
You. There's only one thing we could do. One thing and only. Raise me! She's alive! My wife's alive and well! Oh, joy!
Upon my soul.
Silence, murder!
But who brought you around? Has someone discovered my secret formula?
Silence, assassin! I was never brought around because I was never put away.
You were not frozen.
It was a masquerade.
You were conscious the whole time.
I was conscious the whole time you were gloating over my lifeless body.
Oh, spare me! Spare me!
I was conscious as you took the key. I was conscious while you drank your wine.
Raise me!
And I was also conscious when these dear ones revealed themselves to me in their true colors.
Oh, Papa, this makes me so happy.
Well, I am glad someone in the family is happy. Raise me!
With pleasure.
Stop! I'll feed you when we are alone, sir. And as for you, take my daughter with my blessing. At least you decline to take part in the diabolical scheme for freezing mother-in-law.
Well, hello, King Tut. No one here. How's the hash today?
Fine, sir, and how are you?
Fine. Better than a Scotsman that's found $1,000.
And have you found $1,000, sir?
Well, not exactly, but if I get a couple of good ideas and some work, maybe I'll get enough to pay the rent and buy a sirloin steak. Sounds promising, doesn't it?
Yes, and how will you have the steak?
Ha! You old killjoy, that wasn't an order, that was a promise. For now, just leave me alone so I can get some work done. You see this pen and this paper? Well, they're going to get together and make a bang. Do you understand?
Yes, sir, but what was it you wanted me to do?
Leave. Vanish in vinegar. Drown yourself in dressing. Just go out in the kitchen and do it.
Yes, sir.
Wait a minute there. What's your hurry? Don't you want to give me some literary advice? I could really use some. You see, I have this friend, and he's the manager of this vaudeville circuit. An act dropped out at the last minute, so he gave me a call and said, if you could produce a snappy 20-minute act by this evening, for a man and a woman, we'll give you $50. Well, I couldn't exactly say no to a handful of cold cash. There's the story in a nutshell. So say, does anything funny ever happen here?
Funny? Oh, no, sir. Nothing funny. We have accidents, sir, but very seldom.
Well, I thought a restaurant scene perhaps would do. I mean, a restaurant's the root of a comedy, after all. It has all the elements. I mean, soup with hair in it, noodles 3 feet long, prehistoric hash, 1,000,001 possibilities if I could only think of one of them. Now tell me about one now.
What do you want me to tell you, sir?
Well, you know, the sort of thing that happens every day. You know, old men complaining about their food, men getting bounced for not paying their checks. Just tell me about one now. It really would be nice because if you would just, I mean, if there's an accident, why don't you go out in the kitchen and have one? I mean, I need some advice. Just go in the kitchen and have an accident or something. I don't know.
Yes, sir.
This place is a hell of a mess. How about a nice little nip of, lemonade? I'm sorry, I thought you were the waiter. You wouldn't by chance have any lemonade in your handbag or in your hip, would you? That's all right, don't look. Why don't you just take off your things and stay a while? It's raining out.
What difference does it make to you if I should get wet?
Well, you see, I have this really sympathetic nature, and it really disturbs me to see anyone get wet. It really disturbs me.
Of all the impertinence.
That's all right. You can go if you'd like, but you won't find a better restaurant anywhere. I mean, it may be a mess, but the cooking is actually very good. At least their eggs are. That's all I ever have. Well, their eggs are pretty good, actually.
I don't know.
Well, I wish the waiter would come out with the breakfast programs. He must have gone to sleep for another 1,000 years. King Tut, come out of your tomb, we're hungry.
Did you call me, sir?
No, I called the ghost of your dead ancestors to see if we could get some breakfast. But I suppose you'll do.
Yes, sir. Good morning, miss. Will you have breakfast?
Yes, please. Are your eggs newly laid?
Oh, yes, ma'am. As fresh as a flower.
All right, I'll have a boiled egg, coffee, and 1 egg.
So tell me now, do you come here often?
No.
Well, maybe you could give me some help. I'm struggling along with this vaudeville sketch, you see. And this friend of mine, well, he said that, you know, maybe, like, if I get an act by this evening, a snappy 15-minute act, that maybe I could get a job at this vaudeville circuit.
I help you? I'm not interested. I don't even care to know who you are.
Why, I am Christopher Preserve, although not related to the long line of preserves, strawberry, apple, raspberry, grape.
Chris Preserve? Don't you remember me from Dartmoor University?
Why, I went there, but,
Mary Cross. Now do you remember?
Oh, the canoe trip. Oh, I'm an idiot.
Yes.
So what you been doing since then?
Well, I had to escape this morning. My father's conducting a contest, and I didn't dare show myself within a mile of the house. The last continued a week and nearly killed me. It did paralyze my sense of humor.
So, what sort of contest? Cooking? Cleaning? I mean, what kind of contest? Or rhymes that go, there once was a man named Potato who sat on a juicy tomato. You know, that sort of thing.
Nothing like that. You see, Dad's in the vaudeville business. He needs men to turn out acts for him. Comedy skits. Mostly comedy and farce because they go best. He has no way to judge except by the work they produce, to show they have a sense of humor. So, we read the scripts and pick out a man. That's the way it goes.
Well, I mean, why don't I just move over to your table and we can talk this over a little bit?
The eggs, they're here.
Where are the eggs?
Are they?
Waiter, where are
Boiled eggs, sir. One hard and one soft.
That's it exactly. 2 eggs, but 1 order. A singular order, but plural eggs.
Yes, sir. That's the very words our cook used, sir.
Well, what other words did your cook use?
He said it was a very singular order, and he'd never seen one like it before. He said a lot more, too, sir, but it wasn't about eggs, sir. He said...
Never mind, so long as the eggs weren't involved.
Involved, miss? I must have taken your order wrong. I thought you wanted them boiled.
This situation is becoming rather intense, absurd. I mean, I didn't realize that there were so many conversational possibilities in a mere egg.
It branches out
It branches out in so many directions.
like
A
a plant, sir.
if I didn't dislike puns so much, I would have said an eggplant. It's encouraging to hear somebody laugh at my jokes.
I wasn't laughing at that, sir. I was laughing at something before I came here, when I was waiting at a table in the state insane asylum.
Well, tell us about it.
Well, there was these strange people there. Now, there was this one man that wandered around all day long. He always seemed hunting for something. And he
Yes, and what was he looking for?
thought he was a poached egg. And he's looking for a piece of toast to sit on.
Well, did he sit on it?
No, sir, I'd forgotten to butter it.
That's a wonderful story, and to think it really happened. Why, it's rich in humor.
But horrid food. Let's get down to breakfast.
Yes, or rather, let's get breakfast down us. My coffee's already cold, and we haven't even decided on the treatment of our eggs.
We should take time in deciding upon something as special as our treatment of our eggs.
Shall I bring you your coffee, sir?
Yes, by the time it gets here, the eggs will look like a drop in the bucket.
I hope so, sir.
What impertinence. I'm sure you're just the man Father needs. If only we had a sample to show him. A one-act play, maybe. I know what to do while we're waiting. Let's write a scenario for one.
What an idea.
I was thinking this egg situation bringing us together and all.
It has brought us together, hasn't it? Maybe even forever.
I was thinking how it brought us together to the same table would make a wonderful idea for comedy, especially for vaudeville. I've even thought of a title, a wonderful title for a play. One egg.
Play nothing. That's a myth.
We could expand it
Yeah.
and fill it with puns and epigrams. And...
Or shrimp and cucumbers. Oh, I'm sorry. I was confusing it. Yes, puns and epigrams.
The scene would be in a restaurant,
Any old kind.
like this one. The woman would enter and order an egg, and then the waiter would refuse to bring it. The man would state impertinently,
I always eat one egg for breakfast. But not impertinently. Yes, a restaurant scene would do. But we have to lead up to the climax. Books on playwriting always say that a play must lead up to the curtain line. The curtain line is the crew of the story. It's the final punch.
yes, but how shall we end the story?
Well, I thought that perhaps, that since the eggs were such a vital thing, how they brought us together, that we could have, the minds brought together. Two minds brought together, two eggs,
Well, we must decide on the treatment of the eggs.
Yes, that is the only thing left to determine.
Well, let's see. There's boiled eggs and coddled eggs and
Scrambled eggs! Hooray for scrambled eggs.
I adore scrambled eggs.
They will unscramble the plot. That's how we will end it. The hero will turn to the waiter and say, scrambled eggs, please.
Yes, sir.
Well? Well, I just want to know. Give me a play.
Joe? Joe, you here? Will you answer me, please, Joe? Well, nothing's set up naturally. Want something done right, you gotta do it yourself. Lights, that's good for starters.
What's all the racket, mice?
Well, there you are. Didn't you hear me calling you?
Of course I did. You woke me up.
You weren't supposed to be sleeping. You were supposed to be getting things ready for this rehearsal.
I just need a little rest. Just give me a minute.
I need a rehearsal?
What's that?
That's the others. I told them to come around back, see if the door was open.
You let them in and I'll set up.
I said I need a rehearsal.
To work.
God, are you late?
Oh, leave me alone. Marilyn promises to make this a short rehearsal.
I hope so. I get nervous when I have to speak on stage in front of people.
Hi, Joe.
Howdy. Hey, could you guys help me set up the stage? Would you mind stacking those chairs?
Sure.
Stop, Simba!
Hey, can you guys just set the stuff?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I've got most of my lines down.
This is gonna be my lute for rehearsal. Oh, hi, Joe. Hi, Joe.
Ladies.
Couldn't stop it. Don't pick on me. All right, hurry up, you guys. Let's get started. We have to be out of here before the hospital committee takes over the stage.
If we're going to rehearse, let's go straight through without any interruptions.
We'll take whatever time we can get on this stage. Now, I want to talk to you about this drama. We're not going to have time to go through the whole thing, so we'll just do the key scenes, okay? I'm worried about one thing.
Only one?
The most important thing.
Memorizing our lines.
That does seem to be a problem. Go over them twice every day, please, okay?
Twice? You mean twice every day?
Didn't she just say that? Weren't you listening?
Yes, but I was hoping that I hadn't heard right. Every day.
Now, what I'm worried about is this. You're supposed to be actors, leaders, citizens in ancient Rome. Why can't you make me believe that that is what you are?
Being somebody else isn't easy.
Well, who said acting was easy? We have to try and make this stage look like an emperor's palace to that audience.
Ha! That's me, the Emperor Diocletian. Ah, my public, thank you, thank you.
Sit down.
Did Diocletian put to death as many Christians as the books say?
I didn't know books could talk.
You mean he was real?
Diocletian? Well, certainly he was real. Don't you know anything about Roman history?
No, I mean his actors, his master of ceremonies, his chief actors.
That's me. Patron saint of actors. The one, the only, Genesius. Master of rebels.
All right,
my
come
emperor.
on. Come on, cut it out. Let's get started.
From where?
Have we memorized the prayer to Genesius?
Yeah.
All right, let's hear it.
O noble Saint Genesius, loving patron of theater and its people, teach me how to act well my parts, bearing God so within myself, that through my performances he may reach beyond the footlights, to touch the sensitive, restless hearts of his creatures.
All right, good. Let's get the stage set for the scene with the jealous actor, right?
Genesius is called another rehearsal, I see.
That is his right. He is master of revels.
I wonder where he finds time to be an actor.
It isn't a question of finding the time. Acting is our life. Why speak in a riddle? Speak plain.
I just meant that it takes time being a Christian, with prayers and worships and secret meetings and such.
Genesius is not a Christian.
Oh?
It is dangerous to spread such talk.
Dangerous for Genesius, you mean?
You have always been jealous of him.
I am the better actor.
If that is your opinion, you are a chorus of one. You will excuse me, Alban.
It would appear that Darius does not believe Genesius has become a Christian.
I trust your information is correct.
I am the priestess of the Temple of Vesta. I am consecrated to a Roman goddess. I have no need to lie.
If it is found out that I have lied, I will be fed to the lions.
Poor lions. I gave you this information for one reason. When Genesius is accused, you will take his place. You are second in line when it comes to talent at the Emperor's court.
I admit that as a comedian, Genesius is skilled. But when it comes to true acting, conveying tragedy and emotion,
You're still second in line.
I have my supporters, important ones, nobles. You know nothing of great acting.
I could care less. Your friends, your nobles are making you first actor of Rome. I am. And never forget that. Listen carefully. It must come to a great surprise when Genesius is accused.
But I have already told the Persian Darius.
Fool. If Darius says anything, deny it. Tell no one else. At that time Genesius is accused, spring to his defense. Speak of your brotherly love for him. But you mustn't seem too eager, or else the emperor will smell a conspiracy.
Yes, yes, I will remember.
When it comes time for you to receive the emperor's blessing and take the place of Genesius, you will say that you aren't worthy of such an honor. And then the emperor will command it, and you shall obey. You will swear undying loyalty to the emperor.
I don't understand what you get from all of this.
The temple of Vestides every friend at court can find. You will be able to speak freely among the emperor and empress. They like actors. They will ask your opinion about things.
I am beginning to understand.
Wonder of wonders.
If public monies are to be allocated to various temples, the Temple of Vesta should not be forgotten.
Exactly.
If a priestess is needed to officiate a ceremony of high honor, I could discreetly mention your name.
Actors talk too much.
How do you plan to tell the Roman world that its first actor is a Christian?
Leave that to me.
Gladly. Alban, first actor of Rome. Yes, I like the sound of that. It's got a nice ring to it. First actor of Rome.
All right, Claudia. Not bad. Try to point out the fact that you think Alvin is rather stupid.
Okay.
Okay. Mike,
Yes.
you've got to get more intensity in what you're saying. Remember, deep down inside here, your jealousy has turned to hate. You're ambitious. You'll do anything to be the first actor in Rome. Anything. You'll lie, you'll scheme, cheat, anything.
I'll work on it.
Okay. Let's jump to the rehearsal scene in the Emperor's palace.
Do we perform for a special occasion?
Ask Genesius when he arrives.
I saw something horrible in the city.
What?
A burning. A teacher of the Christians? The soldiers ordered him to make sacrifice to the gods. And when he refused, they tied him to the door of his house and set it on fire.
Christians are always making trouble. Rome is better off without them.
The Christians are a cult. The emperor has forbidden cults.
To see a man tied to a door and set on fire?
Why worry about such foolishness?
Genesius, what is the occasion for our performance?
We perform to celebrate the endings of our civil wars.
Genesius, I have rehearsed the new skit as you ordered. She will accompany me on the lute. I start with a monologue and then I do a pratfall.
No, the pratfall first, and then the monologue. No one pays attention to monologues anymore. You must gain the attention of the audience immediately. The pratfall will do it.
If you say so, Genesius.
As you start to get up, I will appear as a wood demon and hit you over the head with a pig's bladder.
What? The pig's bladder? Again?
Oh, the emperor loves to see actors get hit over the head with a pig's bladder. Besides, the way Genesius does it, it's always funny.
Always.
The revel will begin by a dance with a girl in a dress of Crete, and then an interlude of music and pantomime, and then a serious skit. The death of Apollo, I think.
Excellent choice, Genesius.
We knew you'd like that, Alban, since you will portray Apollo.
I played the part well.
After Apollo will come a poem I have created to please the emperor.
The emperor will be pleased.
Genesius, I bear a gift from my mistress, the Empress. The Empress commands that you accept this ring. The Emperor had it designed especially for you. He would have presented it himself, except he's delayed with affairs of state. The Empress wishes you to wear it tonight at the revel.
It will be an honor.
Gold. Look, on the side, the mask of comedy.
And on this side, the mask of tragedy.
Worth a cargo ship. laden with salt.
We must be perfect for the Emperor.
Why don't we rehearse in the garden? It's such a beautiful day.
Why not?
Apollo is my personal favorite.
I never seem to escape the pig's bladder.
I will wear a garland of purple flowers. It's the Emperor's favorite color.
Genesius, wait.
What is it?
I'm frightened. The burnings in the city? The Emperor has closed our churches and banned our meetings. He's discharged all Christians from the army and the civil service. Any Christian who won't sacrifice to the
We must be careful. Do nothing to arouse suspicion. In time, the Emperor will see things differently. And until then,
What?
what else? We act.
All right, on stage. Evelyn, when you present the ring to Genesius, try to project a sense of awe.
Oh, what?
Try to stay with the mood, people. After all, this ring represents everything that Genesius does for the Emperor. Try to let the audience know that you feel special. Uh-huh. Joe.
Yeah?
Don't take the ring so quickly. They're overwhelmed. Look at it. Reach out for it slowly.
Uh-huh.
The rest of you, don't act as if this ring is a cigar band. It symbolizes the esteem that the Emperor has for Genesius. It esteems the whole thing that you have for the actors. Come on. I want you to put some feeling into it. All right. Damn it. Let's go to this scene in the Emperor's palace. Clear the stage. All right, the stage lights will come up full and colorful. We'll hear a blare of trumpets, some drums. People of the court will enter. A moment for dramatic effect, and then Diocletian and his empress will appear. After the empress, a centurion, who is the bodyguard to Diocletian, and then the slave girl who took the ring to Genesius. They sit. The oracle appears.
Mighty Diocletian, I command the right to speak.
This is hardly time to hear an oracle from a temple.
Another time, priest. The court is here to be entertained.
By a Christian.
Mind your tongue!
There are no Christians in my court.
Mighty Diocletian, you have been deceived.
Enough! You have offended me greatly. I should banish you to some obscure island temple where you can sacrifice to lesser gods.
Forgive me if I have spoken unwisely. My intent was only to serve the empire and protect your honor.
Christians cause earthquakes, floods, pestilence.
I do not need the temple of Vesta to instruct me on the matter of Christians.
My husband is a deity, a god, one of many in our Roman pantheon. A Christian says there's only one God. Do you think such a person would dare be in this court?
I have ordered their books and scriptures surrendered and burned, arrested their clergy. I have declared believing in one God treason.
That is true, Caesar. That is why I am here.
Get out!
The ring. Did he put it on his finger?
With pride and pleasure, Empress.
Good.
What? Still here, priest?
Punish me if you will, my emperor. But one in your court betrays you. One in your court is a Christian.
If you lie.
I do not lie, my emperor.
What is the name of this Christian slave?
He is not a slave. He is a freeborn, a Roman.
Not a slave?
He comes here tonight to entertain.
When a Christian entertains a Roman god, it is mockery.
It is sacrilege.
Entertain, you say? Then it is an actor in Genesius' troupe. Give me his name.
His name is...
His name! I command it!
His name is... Genesius.
Liar!
He speaks the truth, Caesar.
By imperial decree, Genesius is first actor of Rome.
I do not believe it. The court is full of intrigue, Diocletian. He may have enemies. All clever men have enemies, and Genesius is clever.
We shall see. Summon the actors. Let them perform.
Let the revel begin.
Mighty Diocletian.
Mighty Diocletian.
You have ended our civil wars.
Diocletian, Mars smiles on you.
This humble rebel I have created to honor your glory.
Glory to the Emperor.
Mighty Diocletian, you are the sun and the moon. Mighty Diocletian, we celebrate your victories.
Mighty Diocletian, you are the living, breathing treasure of Rome.
For your pleasure, Emperor. Comedy, tragedy, music, and pantomime.
Genesius.
To laugh, to cry, to view with wonder and listen with pleasure.
Genesius.
These humble gifts, we, your comedians, put before you for your pleasure and delight.
Are you a Christian?
A dancing dwarf, a sweet song. Who can guess the rest?
Remember, Genesius, Christians do not lie.
Is the accusation true? Are you a Christian?
Why won't you answer?
I will answer, my Empress. It is true. Genesius the actor is a Christian. But the God of the Christians is not your enemy.
Enough! I am a god and your emperor. You will worship me as a god if I command it, and I do command it.
There's only one God I can worship, my Emperor.
Genesius, I have favored you above all others, but no one mocks my authority. You will do as I command.
Deny your Christian God, Genesius. Deny him.
I cannot.
Perform sacrifice to the gods of Rome.
He has been misled. The Roman priests are tricksters. I speak as a dear friend of Genesius.
You have mocked my authority. You have mocked the power of Rome. You have betrayed me.
Treason.
I have not mocked your authority, and I stand in humility in the power of Rome. I have not betrayed you, my Emperor. This God has given me the ability to perform and act. You've seen them and found a light in them. If you come to know him as I have.
You will not speak like that to your emperor. Denounce your God.
That I cannot do, my Emperor.
You must, Genesius. I beg you.
You will either renounce your God and ridicule a Christian ceremony, or you die, comedian.
No!
Choose! All the gods of Rome or your one Christian God. And death.
I cannot and will not renounce my God. To laugh, to cry, to view with wonder, and list with pleasure these humble gifts.
Let his body stay on this stage until the first light. I grant him that.
And then?
Have his head cut off and displayed at the entrance to the theater of Marcellus. All Rome will see and all Rome will know the anger of Caesar.
Yes, my Emperor.
The ring. You.
My Empress? It is too great an honor.
Is it?
A dancing dwarf. A sweet song. Who can guess the rest?
All right, let's move along. The choral hymn to Genesius. Remember who he was. Remember what he means to all actors. Help the audience to remember. Genesius.
Help me in my drama of life. Guide me and inspire me, that through the beauty of the drama and the power of acting, I may elevate the thoughts and feelings of those who love or watch it. Genesius, coach my every drama, so that I may fulfill my obligation of leading my friends and spectators to the love and beauty of the divine creator of all drama.
Until she comes back.
Requiem is a war statement. It is written while we are not at war, but while one of the bloodies still lives in millions of memories. Particularly those 56,000 families, which will never be complete again, thanks to the most recent carnage. This message has been repeated since man first killed his brother, and yet we still refuse to listen. Requiem is the death of your children. Please listen.
Requiem.
It's been pretty bad over here for a few weeks now, but the worst may be over. Word is out that we'll be pulling back soon. Maybe in the morning, but we get rumors at the rate of 10 an hour, at least.
The Department of Defense is grieved to report that Sergeant Blank has been declared missing in action in the theater of war. You will be advised as further word reaches the office.
My promotion came through, so a little more money will be on its way home, starting next month. I increased your allotment to the full share as soon as I got here, since we don't get much chance to go shopping. Ha ha.
This is highest honor presented to the family of Sergeant Blank. Blank, in recognition of his unselfish service and bravery began the call of duty. In memory of this departed patriot, all male children of his immediate family are guaranteed acceptance at the war college of their choice.
Kiss the children for me. Tell them the end's in sight for sure. I'll be home before they start school, and that's a promise. Love to all, and a special kiss for you, honey. All my love.
It's behind us now. We have to start again.
The wars. What was this one?
They called it... I don't remember. They stopped using numbers.
Just the war.
Do numbers mean anything? We bury and we start again.
But the waves! There he was on his way back home. Discharged. Then he gets into a card game. Then shot in the back. His body tossed from the train. His his head smashed on the rails.
At least we buried him in peacetime. Maybe the wars won't rise again. Maybe everyone's just tired enough.
Perhaps.
I don't believe it. We say that every time. And every time we find ourselves beside a father's casket, the vultures just keep circling.
Then we'll starve them.
I don't want to think about it. It's peacetime.
Sometimes I think peacetime is even more frightening than war. The horrors are so easy to forget.
There won't be time to forget. We'll be enjoying a new war before too long. I've already heard the talk.
Where are the men to fight it? There's only a handful in the whole country. Only women and children, trying to feed themselves, waiting for the gun smoke to clear.
But you'll hear the bugles soon enough.
No, all I hear are lullabies.
Kyrie eleison.
Subject subscription. A state of war has been declared. All citizens, male and female, between the ages of 14 and 35, are ordered to report to the nearest military adjustment center for $1,800. Anyone resisting or found to be in collusion with a resistor will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. Medical examinations will be administered where possible, and those physically unable to report will be provided military transportation.
The notice. We saw it on the church door.
What are the ages?
14 to 35, and it's everybody.
You too, then. Where's Benjamin?
I thought he'd be here by now. We came separate ways.
I haven't seen him since morning. Go toward the square and... No. Go to the back. Pack enough to pass the last few days. I don't know where. Hurry. Conscription. The death machine cranks up, and they want my oil again. Even blood on the doorpost won't keep them out. How much time do you have? 20 years? 10? Then the Cassians rise, and the death angel leads the column and sinks to the rear before the first bomb strikes. I've seen the children marching to the sea, then into it. And the angel stands on the beach and shouts to his twin on the other side. And then the two march back home to cajole, to lie, to conscribe, to build another tie before the first has subsided so much as an inch.
The notice has gone up.
I've seen these wars enough. We're through with them.
There's nowhere to go.
We'll wait for appropriate hour.
We're to report at 6.
Nightfall. An appropriate hour.
You're safe.
Are any of us safe? We don't count the peace in years or months now. We're down to days.
It won't touch you. Go to the woods, the place where you played as children. You won't be missed for a few hours. Don't let them come on you by surprise. Hurry.
Well, that was done fast enough. We can get them at Dr. Double Time when we have to. Is that everybody?
The census shows 2 more, a brother and a sister. They probably didn't see the notice.
They wouldn't have to in a place like this. Word travels. It's a resistance. What's going on in this country? Answer me that. I know the scene that's coming up. There'll be a mother, and she'll say she doesn't know where they are. And there'll be tears enough to slap around in. Well, I better get this done. Start questioning the neighbors. Let's make this simple. Your son and daughter didn't report for induction today. Where are they?
Why should I tell you that?
I'm sick of this scene. I played it too many times.
I've done my dirty work, Sergeant. Enough for me and for my children.
We'll see. We'll find them and they'll fight. or we'll teach them better.
No.
The enemy's at our doorstep. Do you think he's just going to disappear?
No, he won't disappear. Not until we begin disappearing too.
That's what I'm here for. He's not going away by himself. And I plan to do a lot of the pushing. I'll run the ocean with him.
Only him? Only the thousands of him in one uniform, sinking, lining the ocean like a corpse carpet.
Stop it. You've seen the war. You've been there.
Gradual Requiem.
Yes, I was there. There in the middle of it, in the city. The fire was raining. Thousands of us crowded into the subway, pushing, trampling, until the stairwell was slick with blood and bodies, but we kept coming. The lights failed. There was darkness, then silence, each of us breathing as little as we could, breathing. The all clear sounded. I heard a child cry, but not at a distance. It came from life inside me, a soft sobbing as clear as a footfall on tenement stair. The first pain hit. My head wrenched as the contractions began. I felt a new life dripping from me, aborting on that smoky black floor. Another body to be stepped over. Yes, I was there. I've seen the enemy, seen him electrocuting his children.
You'd rather he'd electrocute yours?
That's the answer. Let him trample his own. His mother doesn't leap into the open grave with her son. His wife doesn't kneel in the dark.
That's not your problem.
Why don't you throw your guns to the sharks? Then we could kiss our children and put them to bed. Children without rifles throwing shadows on their sleep.
Very pretty. Now where are you?
Look across the sea. I'm refusing there, too.
I haven't heard about it.
We don't make headlines, but I'm there. The sacrifices are over. Goodbye, Sergeant.
Search them up. Tear up what you have to. There'll be a stripe in it for the man who drags them in.
Do you think we could build a fire?
We'll be on us in a minute.
Well, maybe it would be better just to go along with them. We'll be hiding here, hiding there, until they eventually catch up. Isn't their life better than this?
Haven't you been to enough funerals?
Some of the men come home. We've seen them marching when the wars are over.
Yeah, for those who could march. Beautiful columns they made, hobbling by. Parades are different before and after a war. After, they just don't last as long.
Benjamin, we could die out here.
Shh.
What would that prove?
If you die over there, what does that prove?
I don't know. It's just hard to understand anything when your legs seem to stop at the ankles.
Don't worry. Keep moving. Mother will send for us. She'll find us a place.
Operatorium.
I remember the peacetime. I remember all the peace times. When the armistice came, they let the schools out early to go downtown and watch the men come home. They marched or rolled by in trucks, propped themselves up so they could wave to us. There were posters all over, celebrating. But we made more of them at school and hung them up on the walls next to the holy pictures. We thought the peace would last forever. Then the notices went up, and we were left alone, again, with the paint on our victory posters barely dry.
Well,
we searched everywhere.
This town can't be as big as that. You didn't let them cry at you, did you?
No, sir.
Well, look again. Look in the undergrowth. They'll come out soon enough in this frost. If not, fire into the hedgerows. I'll see this blasted mother again. Woman, get over here. The dispatches are coming through. Shall I read them to you?
Spare me that.
Your revolution is well begun and finished. All over the country, tree branches are heavy from those rifles in convince. Helpless or not, the result's the same.
Here's our history. Here he is, two people's love in the nights between the rocket bursts. Then the mortars flared, and the women were left alone with their swelling bodies. The new lives came, baptized in their father's blood. That's over now. The cycle ends with me here and with me all over the world. We see the way to finish it. We won't make any more soldiers. Build your caskets, Sergeant, but don't build too many. You can count all you'll ever need.
Still nothing?
Nothing.
Go out again.
Sergeant, we've been on duty for 18 hours. They have all the advantage in the dark.
What's the point anyway? We get them abducted, then what happens?
I don't know, Sergeant.
When I think... When I was in training division a while back, I couldn't stomach it anymore. Cotter them, that's the order of the day.
We never had it like that.
You're the lucky ones. You got your training while we were still teaching you how to stay alive. You didn't learn to kill unless it was happening to you every minute. Sure, they hated me, but when they were done, they could shoot and they could march. And they could sneak up on a fly and slit his throat.
Yeah, I know.
When I think what we're turning out to be today, it makes me want to spit. Soldiers, we threw half of them out of second-story windows and filled out accident reports. Get some sleep. That woman thinks she's seen the last of me for tonight. She can forget it.
Move on in. I thought they might occupy the house, but they finally left. Here, drink some of this. We'll be warm enough. It tastes strange. Everything tastes strange now. The gun smoke has settled everywhere. Drink it down.
I can't seem to get warm.
The soup will help. Huddle together.
Anna, keep your eyes open.
Maybe you're right. Let's finish your soup, then lie back and sleep. We'll be safe. Yes, a bit of soup for you and for me.
Agnes Daye.
Woman! Let's get this done. We have a world of time, but how much do they have in this night?
Your world of time. Your night too, Sergeant.
Save everybody from suffering. Where are your...
You won't hurt him.
You haven't read my orders.
Your orders, yes, and millions like them. But you can't hurt him. Feel his pulse, his breath.
My God!
Not your God. What does God have to do with you?
You killed him!
I with my herbs, my meat scraps from your mess halls, my killing recipe. I've stolen them all from you. All of them. And me. The enemy is coming, Sergeant. He has your blood and your rifle, and he'll shoot you as you crawl into the dark. Then the cycle will turn and turn until no one is left except a few mothers and sellers with children. And they'll die too. What a pity you won't be there to enjoy it. Train your murderers. Remember me, and remember my children, your first victims. Your valor proved me before the first rocket struck. I've robbed you, Sergeant. The theft was sweet. I would laugh if I don't awake any children.
Nurse! Nurse! Come on. Where are you? There's a sick person in here requiring assistance. Nurse! I could have died and none of them would have known. And they wouldn't catch on either until I didn't pay the bill. Nurse! What do you have, a union now? I came in 3 days ago for a physical. Hospital procedure, they said. A few more tests, they said. I'm dying. I gotta be. If you're not dying, they tell you. If you're dying, they don't change your flowers. Plastic. I'm dying. Nurse! Oh, here you are.
What does the bedpan king need now?
If you'd come a little later, you could have brought a wreath.
You're not the only patient I have.
So she could write up in the journal for keeping you in here.
If you have nothing else, Your Highness.
Got you in here for a reason.
To listen to another of your tirades on the medical profession, I have other patients.
Isn't they could die by themselves? They don't need your gnarled, webbed, and surgically inaccurate hands to speed up the process. And now listen closely. I have a little test for you.
Oh, no.
What is the capital of California? Answer correctly, and I'll give you a lump of sugar.
Sacramento. Now may I go?
Question number 2.
Mr. Wilmerding!
Who is the second president of the United States?
John Adams.
What? I didn't hear you.
John Adams, you geek!
You don't have to yell. This is a hospital, you know. That's a rumor I heard. Now for the third and final question. This is a toughie. When am I getting out of here?
I don't know!
You always seem to blow that last one, don't you? What do I have to do? Hire a detective?
Believe me, if I knew, I would tell you. I would pack your bags for you. Now here.
What's this, rat poison?
I brought you a sedative.
I didn't ask for any sedative. I don't want a sedative.
It was a unanimous decision by the nurses. We took the rest of them.
I'm not going to take this pill.
You're going to take this pill or I'm going to hit you over the head with a major home appliance.
Can I have a glass of water?
Here. And don't try that old trick of putting it under your tongue. I'll give it to you in a suppository form. Now let's have a look. Fine. The doctor will be in shortly after your nap.
What nap?
That nap.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'm gonna sleep on the buzzer. Come in here for a sticking physical, and I get a barracuda for a nurse. They won't tell me anything. That's it. I'm breaking out. Still here. Oh, the doctor said he'd be in after my nap. Well, it's after my nap, and where's the doctor? I'll just buzz him on my buzzer. Hey, they took my buzzer. Let's heck with them. I'll call him on the phone. Dead? My phone's dead, and I'm dying and my phone's dead. That figures. I paid for a phone.
Here you are, Mrs. Wilmerding.
Just the person I wanted to see. My phone has been disconnected. And you think I'm gonna pay for it?
Will you need anything?
No, I'm all right. I just want to sit here by the bed.
Oh, I'm sure you two will be happy together. Now listen to me, King Kong. My phone has been disconnected. And you think I'm gonna pay for
If
it?
you'll need anything else, the phone is right over there.
It's been disconnected!
Wait, I think it's been disconnected.
Gee, I wish I said that.
Yes, it's dead. I mean not working. Gotta stop doing that.
Don't worry about me. I've been prepared for this since he came to the hospital.
Prepared for what? X-rays? Why do you keep staring at the bed?
He seems such a nice man.
Seemed. Nice man.
Before he started getting worse.
Before he started getting worse? You stop staring at the bed. I'm over here. Yeah, I'm over here.
I gotta go down the hall a minute. Another patient.
I'll just stay here if that's all right. Just be alone for a few minutes with him.
I understand.
Him? Who him? Me him?
Gotta stop doing that.
Horace!
Hazel?
Horace!
Hazel!
Horace!
Hazel! Can you see me? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, knock twice.
Oh, Horace!
Can't see me? You can't see me.
Hazel, dear, I just heard.
I don't want to see her.
I'm so glad you're here. He's over there.
Over where?
He's
I don't
gone.
see me. Oh, that explains it.
That's all right, dear. You go right ahead and cry.
Now, how can I be here and gone unless I'm here and gone? But I am here. They see me over there, but I don't see me over there because I'm over here. Well, Hazel sees me over there, and the old windbag makes it, and sees me over there, and the nurse makes it 3-1. Therefore, if I believe in a democratic society, I'm dead.
It's hard, I know.
I'm gone. I'm deceased. I'm an ex-person.
He was a nice man, and we'll all miss him. Of course, he and I didn't always see eye to eye on everything.
I shall lie down in green pastures.
He at times was self-centered, vain, and stubborn.
No matter how I say it, it's bad news.
But of course, we'll all miss him. Come on, dear, you need to get away from here. Let's go get some coffee or something.
I guess you're right. I better.
Of course, I'm right, dear. Coffee shop's on the second floor.
So now I'm gone, and I didn't even know I went. Must have died in my sleep. The last thing I remember was Florence Nightingale giving me that pill. Oh, excuse me. Look at me talking to myself. How many fingers am I holding up?
2?
You can see me?
You can hear me?
You're dead?
Right! Oh! Just as dead as you are! Oh, am I glad to find somebody.
Likewise, I was beginning to think death was a real drag.
Milton F. Herbert. I left my cards in my other suit.
Herbert. Yeah, I saw them bring you in. You look bad.
Yeah, I know.
When did you die?
Last night.
Me too. Horace Wilmerding.
I'm sorry we couldn't have met under better circumstances.
Oh, don't apologize. This might be better circumstances.
Hey, what were you in for?
A physical, I thought. They started poking around. I guess they killed me.
Well, he who sweeps shall find dirt.
Isn't that the truth? I was an architect.
Really? I was a lawyer.
Hey, you think you can find a loophole in this somewhere?
Well, if I can't, you can build us a nice place to haunt. Nothing elaborate, just a few gargoyles and cobwebs and...
Hey, that's right. We're ghosts now, huh?
Yeah. Hey, we gotta find a haunted house somewhere. No, wait. We'll go into business for ourselves. I wonder if there are any rules.
I don't know. You're a lawyer.
Maybe we work as apprentices first.
We haven't heard from anyone yet, have we?
Maybe they don't know we're dead yet.
Maybe who don't know?
I don't know. The union.
You mean like Ghost International Local 705 or something?
Yeah. We probably start out small. You know, seances, Ouija boards.
Halloween must be insane.
Yeah. Hey! Tell me, how do I look?
You look dead.
Well, we can't all be Vincent Price, you know.
Hey, no fair. You left me this contour sheet. Or that looked like a ghost that's been upholstered. What do you know it? The old bag is immune.
Well, she probably brushes her teeth every morning.
What does that got to do with it?
Well, when you figure she has to look in the mirror every day.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing that we could come up with that's half as scary.
Yeah. Hey, maybe we'll get another chance.
Am I interrupting anything?
He can see us.
Jeez, another corpse.
I have some matters I need to discuss with you.
Let me guess. Clothing salesman.
Who, me? No, actually I was an accountant. Yeah, before the train crashed, that is.
An accountant dressed like that?
Well, you have to understand that I passed away in 1934.
Couldn't you get something more up to date to wear?
Wait, you don't understand. What you're wearing when you die is what you wear for the duration.
You mean this is it? This is all we get?
Well, that's why we always see ghosts in sheets. They die in bed and that's all they can grab on their way out. This is it. Jeez.
So, what are you complaining about? Look at the oil on the back of this coat. Wore the suit 3 times and suddenly, bam, eternity, looking like a nerd.
You must be our guide, right?
My name is Bascom. You gentlemen are here still at your death places because your cases are still being considered.
Considered? By...
Right. Your cases are in second counsel for November.
You're a witness.
Now see here, Mr. Bascom. If we are on trial, I feel it is my duty to inform you that I am a lawyer.
No! Don't tell me that. Tell me they didn't give me a lawyer. I wondered why it sounded so easy. Just go down there, they said. Tell them their rights and wait for a decision. A piece of cake. A lawyer? I should have guessed.
Mr. Bascom.
What are you, a city councilman, I suppose?
Architect. But about our trial.
I didn't say trial. I said your cases are being considered.
I fail to see the difference. We are entitled to a defense.
Save me. Look, I'll explain it in terms you would understand. You, being parties of the first part, have lived your lives and are now through with them. That's your defense. Now, we, as parties of the second part, consider all the things you've done while on Earth. This allows us to categorize you. We have everything on file. Let's see here. Horace James Wormerding?
Oh, here.
Milton Fenswick Herbert?
Yo.
I'm the courier of the results. I'm to wait here with you until word comes down about a decision.
Oh, we already decided.
I'm sure they'll be overjoyed to hear that.
We want to be ghosts.
Ghosts? Ghosts? Everybody wants to be ghosts. I'm not a ghost. I don't want to be a ghost.
Well, what else is there?
All that responsibility, seances, Ouija boards. Halloween is insane.
Okay, look. A minute ago you said something like, for the duration of our stay or something like that. What duration?
Yeah, what are we being considered on?
Okay, listen closely, kiddies. Now, if the board, or parties of the second part, feels you could have done more for yourself on Earth, like improving your courage, or your patience, or your soberness.
Sobriety.
Sobriety, thank you. If they feel you could have done more for yourself, they sometimes send you back.
You mean recovery?
Yeah. What they're considering is your spirit. Your spirit is like a muscle. It has to be worked on, it has to be relaxed as well. Some people work all their lives and never learn how to play. Their soul has turned into beef jerky.
You mean we can be sent back?
No, those are borderline cases I was telling you about. You guys just flat out died. Your cases can't be changed.
Oh, that makes me feel much better.
Okay, I understand about the spirit. I understand there's nothing we can do to change our records. But what I don't understand is, if we aren't ghosts, what are we?
That's why I'm here, and that's why I'm waiting to find out from the board.
Okay.
Got it.
Right.
Anytime, eh?
Anytime.
Any minute now, huh?
Didn't I just say that?
Well, what's more fun than being a ghost? I mean, I don't want to spend the rest of whatever... Forever. Pushing clouds around.
Pushing clouds around. That's beautiful. I haven't heard that in 15 years.
Okay, Biscuit. What other choices do we have?
Now you're talking. You can pick from a wide range of spiritual livelihoods, all tailored just for you. You can be an inspiration, you can be a moving spirit, and of course, the ever-popular guardian angel.
Guardian angel? Those exist?
Of course they do. They assign you to a person, a relative or a close friend, and you keep track of them.
Kind of like computer dating.
Exactly. You wouldn't want to spend the rest of a lifetime with someone you have nothing in common with, would you?
I think I did. My wife.
As a guardian angel, you would keep track of everything he or she does.
Everything?
Well, not like every time they got sunburnt or every time they blew their nose or anything like that. What you would keep track of is marked strides in generosity, patience, trust, and so forth. You know, spiritual fodder.
Okay, and what were the other choices, inspirations, and what?
Moving spirits.
I don't want to appear ignorant, but...
What are moving spirits? Yeah. Come on. You've heard it 1,000 times. Someone never does anything unless
the spirit moves them.
But bum.
Yeah.
What do? Go around pushing people?
Well, bluntly, yes. You create an urge within a person to start or to continue a project. This is earthly defined as psychological. It's all in the rule book here.
But it's so thick.
So, are you in a hurry? You got forever to read that thing.
Yeah, I guess I haven't got my angel wings yet.
Hey, yeah, what about angels? Can we be angels?
Ghost angels. You guys are flexible, I'll say that for you.
That's the spirit.
Look, I already told you, your records will read as they read. And I've told you most of the categories. Besides, being an angel is even harder work than being a ghost. Everybody's looking for an angel. Here 1 minute and there the next. It's a lot of work.
By the way, do you have a phone book?
Who are you gonna call?
Ghost book!
Well, not a phone book exactly, but, you know, kind of who's who or who's where.
That's all covered in the guide.
Okay.
I don't know what's taking them so long. Honestly, sometimes it can take forever.
What?
Figure of speech.
Oh. Phew. Hey, haven't you got a deck of cards or something?
Yeah, over there in the drawer.
Thanks.
Jeez.
What's the matter?
Just figured out my wife's now on her own.
Oh, take it easy. You've got insurance, haven't you?
Yeah, but it's tough finding out your wife is now a widow.
Do you know how to play gin?
You know how to play cards?
I'm not an angel, you know.
Hey, yeah, what are you anyway?
Deal the cards.
Did I sign that insurance thing?
Where are we gonna play?
We'll play on the bed.
Not over my dead body, you're not.
Now, where can Hazel have left her purse?
Basco?
Yeah.
You said that our records are being considered as they are, right?
Right.
Nothing we can do now is to change them.
That's correct. We'll play with knocking.
What? You didn't say anything about knocking.
I thought you knew how to play the game.
Yeah, but you didn't say anything about knocking.
Mother? Can you hear me, Mother?
Here it is.
Why, you overweight old plug. For years I've been waiting to tell you off. I'm sick and tired of your meddling and complaining, and I hope your tongue rots off, you breezy horse.
What?
It's disgusting, Mom.
His insurance papers, and they're not signed.
What? I signed them. I signed them. Let me see.
Well, you did take it with you, didn't you, you old tightwad?
I signed them. I signed them.
Why didn't Hazel tell me about this?
Knock for two.
Hey, are we playing for money?
No, we're not playing for money. How many points do I get?
Well, we gotta play for something. 42.
Okay. Well, we'll play for blessings. So far, you owe me 71 blessings.
Gesundheit deal. What's the matter, Horace?
My mother-in-law just found the insurance papers, and they weren't signed.
What?
I'm sure I signed those things. I remember Hazel explaining to me at the top of her lungs why I had to sign them. I don't understand.
Well, when was this?
Right before I got into the hospital.
Right before?
Your play.
Like the night before he went into the hospital.
No, like in the car on the way over here.
Well, she might have known something.
She might have known something.
Your play.
But it might have just been a precaution. Is it my play?
Nobody listens to me.
Yeah, but if she knew something, why didn't she tell me?
Well,
she could have at least.
Well, look, you don't just go up to someone and say, hey, you're gonna die.
Jin!
You're gonna die.
Too late.
Well, she didn't tell me and I didn't sign the insurance papers.
Oh, you're happy about that, aren't you?
Yes, I'm happy about that. Your man's dying and no one will tell him. At least she could have.
Oh, come off it! Could you have told her, if she was the one lying on that bed, could you have told her she was dying?
Mother? Now where is she?
Horace, I know you died with a lot of questions. I love you, Horace. I'll always love you. I hope that somehow that answers some of them.
Hazel, this may not be the time, but I'm afraid that dear Horace forgot to sign his insurance papers.
I signed them. I signed them.
He signed them. He signed them.
Well, what about these?
Where'd you get these?
From your purse.
Mother, these are the copies. They're for his personal files. He signed the originals.
You're always meddling, you old windbag.
You're always meddling.
Well, I was just looking out for your welfare.
Oh, I know, Mother. I'm sorry I yelled at you. I didn't mean any of it.
I did.
Quite all right. No harm done.
Let's go for that coffee now.
How much longer, Basso?
Should have been over with by now. Hope it wasn't a mistake.
Hold it. What do you mean, mistake?
Well, this new board hasn't quite got the hang of the paperwork yet.
You mean we might be mistakes?
Oh, let's get out of here.
We're gone.
Will you two settle down? I meant that this long period of waiting might be the result of a mistake. You're not the mistakes.
Scared me to death.
Bad choice of words.
Hey, haven't you ever wanted to go back?
I would like a new suit. Wait a minute. This might be it.
Well, this is it, old man.
Oh, for one and all that.
Hope and faith.
Hope and courage.
Hope and Crosby.
What? I don't believe it. This was only a dream? This was all only a dream? This is only a...